Hey all, welcome to day 6 of our 40 days of AWS class. First of all, I thank you all. You are joining here for continuously for the 6th day as well. And today we are going to cover network load balancer. And last class we have covered application load balancer. We already have these instances are up and running. So we are going to use the same EC2 instances for our network load balancer target groups. Okay, so to create a network load balancer, we have to go to load balancing service of EC2 and click on load balancers. Post clicking on load balancer, we have to click on create load balancer to create a network load balancer. So you can see that we have all the options available to create the load balancer. We have ALB, NLB and GLB. So for this, we are going to create a network load balancer. Before creating load balancer, just give you that heads up of load balancer that it's very high performance load balancer, able to take millions of requests per second, right? So once we click on create to create a network load balancer, you will get a page to provide the details with respect to the network load balancer, and also getting detail how network load balancer works, right? So user will go through that your load balancer and traffic will route to your like you can have target group as application load balancer, IP and EC2 instances, right? So to create network load balancer, you have to pass on like basic configuration details like node balancer name and like it should be internet facing and all. So for this, I'm just giving a name network -NLB for network load balancer, right? And I keep it as a network internet facing since we are going to like use it as a internet facing network load balancer. For VPC, I have only one VPC for now, so I'm just selecting the same. If you want to host it in another VPC of yours, you can select that VPC. And for subnet, I'm selecting all three subnets, and you can see that IPv4 address assigned by AWS, right? So this subnet will assign an IP to a network load balancer to interact with any service running in this subnet with that public interfacing network load balancer. Once we select it for all that subnets, next part is we are going to create a security group for this. To create a security group, we have to click on that create a new security group, and for network load balancer security group, we have to give HTTP and HTTPS as our port. Since our application is running on port 80, which we are going to test it here on our EC2 instances, but just for demo purpose, I'm opening all the port like HTTP and HTTPS in our inbound role. Okay, so for security group to be created, we have to give a security group name, description, and select the VPC where we have hosted our network load balancer. And we just like you can see that we are going to give what type of inbound role we are going to create. We select that protocol HTTP, and which takes the traffic on port 80, and we are allowing it for that all that IP addresses, or it's like publicly allowed. So any traffic coming from port 80 will be taken care by our load balancer from this security group. Okay. Similarly, we are allowing it for HTTPS as well. So we are opening it for both port 80 and 443. But for this demo purpose, we have only port 80 to test. So that's all. So once we click on create security group, we'll see the security group has been created. And when we go back, just refresh there and select the load that security group which we have created. Once we have created that security group, just deselect your default security group from there. And next part is we are going to add a listeners, right? So say this similarly we have done in application load balancer. Here also we have to select the protocol. And as you can see that for network load balancer, we have TCP, TLS, UDP and TCP, UDP only protocols available to take the traffic. Okay, so we are going to allow TCP for this, and our applications it's running on port 80. So we can see that port 80 is there. Next part here is to create a target group, right? So it's a similar way we have done in application load balancer as well. To create a target group, we have to click on create target group, and we are going to add our EC2 servers which we have created. If you see in that beginning in the starting screen of that video, you see that instances which are up and running. So we are going to use those instances only. So you have to move forward, and to create a target group, we just click on create target group, and you will get that dashboard to create that target groups. So for target group, we have to add resources for that load balancer, where we have to handle the traffic. So for this demo purpose, we are going to take instances as our resources to our target group. You can select IP address. If you have some on-premise servers you want to add, you can add there as well. And you can add Lambda function, you can add application load balancer as well, but for now I'm going to add instances as our target groups. Okay, once you select instances, just give the target group a name. So I'm just giving a demo target group name to my target group, like demo NLB -tg. Next we have to select a port number. We are like, so my application running on port 80, so I'm selecting that. I'm just selecting IPv4 since my servers have IPv4 assigned. And for health check, I am giving / as a root, like so it is testing that application running on that root, on the root directory in the server. Okay. Next, once we have done this, we just need to validate all the configuration, and then just click on next. And after that, we have to add the servers to that target group. Okay. So yeah, let me scroll down, and I'll click on next. Yeah, let's click on next. Now you will be able to see those EC2 instances which are up and running. So let me select and include it as there in my target group. Once you click on create target group, we will see those two instances. But when we are going to add this target group to the load balancer, you can see those EC2 instances will come to a healthy state. But for now, it is telling that health status is target group is not configured to receive traffic, right? Since you can see there is no load balancer associated. So let's go to the load balancer, refresh there, and just select that target group which we have created. Yeah, you can see that protocol is also TCP here. It's a difference with the ALB of yours, right? So yeah, let's go all toward the down and see all the configuration, and just click on create load balancer. So once you click on create load balancer, we have to wait for a couple more minutes to get that load balancer into active stage. So you can see the status is provisioning for now, right? So but yeah, it takes couple more minutes to get that status to be an active, right? So it validates the health of this your servers which you have created inside your target group. So yeah, if you open your target group, you can refresh it and see your instances will be coming into healthy stage once your load balancer is provisioned. For now, you can see the health status is initial one. So once your load balancer become active, you will be seeing these two targets. Total target should be in a healthy status. For now, you can see also in a health check, it's validate after every 6 seconds, validates the health if any instance is out of that health status. So you will see that health status in a target group, right? So we can, if you want to monitor any things into this load balancer, you can see in the CloudWatch logs as well. Okay. Yeah, and then you can see that those are all that total targets are both are associated in US East 2A. So that's how you can check all the details with respect to your resources inside the target group. Yeah, let me refresh here again. Okay, just wait a couple more minutes. Yeah, now you can see that it's in an active state. So to test it out whether our application working fine or it's load balancing or not, so we are going to copy our domain name system for DNS for our load balancer and test it out. Yeah, you can see that our application is running on this IP first, and if you can refresh, you can see this, it is routing to the next other target resource in our target group, right? So this is how you can see both servers are taking care of the traffic going to that load balancer, right? So now let me give you some update about the security, how we can make secure our traffic coming to our servers, right? So so like what would be the best practices, like traffic coming to your instances will directly comes from that load balancer only, right? So but if you can see that our instances have public IP associated, so if you go to this instance and try to reach out to your website using this public IP associated, if you go there and you open it with your public IP, you will see that your application running on server will be visible, right? So this is not a good practice. Generally we don't allow our instances to be reached out to the public by using public IPs. So to protect your instances from getting exposed to that open internet, first is you need not to give the public IPs, if right. Another thing is you can if you are going it for your demo purpose, or if you have some scenarios that your instances is publicly exposed, you can still protect them from by adding security here, right? So to add there, we don't give access to all the IPs or from anywhere. Instead of that, we are going to give security group in the custom field there, so that only resource to which this security group is associated, from that resource only we are allowing traffic. So since this is this security group is associated with the network load balancer in our scenario, so only traffic coming from network load balancer will be taken care by our EC2 instances. So let me add those rules, and once I click on save, and then if I go to IP address of that instance and if I refresh it, you will see that instead of getting that web page, my screen will keep searching for that application. Yeah, you can see that it's still moving, right? So it is not a I'm not able to reach out to my application from this public IP now. Okay, but if the similar way you want to see via load balancer, you will see that our application still working via load balancer. Okay, so you will see that timeout error here for our application. If you see there, right, yeah, you can see that site cannot be reached. But if you see with the load balancer, if you see refresh, you will get your application page up and running there. Okay, so this is how you can secure your EC2 instances using network load balancer security group. So that's a good practice to have allow access using that security groups rather than giving the IP address like anywhere, right? Yeah, this is all for today in our class for network load balancer. And if you have any doubt or any feedback, please do share your feedback in the comments, so I can improve it. Okay.